everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video we are going to be playing with some new drugstore makeup. I'm really happy with the things that I picked out. I do have a few things that have been on the market a little while, but I've never tried them before. I also have some stuff that has been viral on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else, and the first impressions. See what works, see what doesn't, because that's kind of what we do here, and also play with some new releases. But if you're new here, my name is Amber. I'm a former hairdresser turned beauty blogger. We do dupe videos and hauls and all sorts of fun stuff here. So if you like that kind of content, please go ahead and give it a like, give it a subscribe, and let's get to it. So I have a huge box in front of me full of drugstore makeup, and I think one thing that I don't think is drugstore, but I do want to try it. This is the Nabla Viper Lip Plumper. It looked really interesting online. Looks like this. I've heard good and bad things about this. I heard it plumps your lips like crazy, but also it tingles and it is very uncomfortable. I don't mind a tingle, so I think we're gonna try this while I do the rest of my makeup. The container is really cool looking. It comes with this snake on it. And yeah, I'm like super stoked about this. I'm probably gonna look crazy because they're gonna plump my lips like insanely big, but that's okay. So it does come in a wand like this, like it has a screw bottom so that the product comes out the top. And yeah, let's go ahead and put this on, and then we'll do the eyes and we'll do the complexion after, because I don't know how these shadows are gonna perform and I'm kind of nervous. Kind of smell like vanilla. It's actually not bad. I don't feel the tingle yet, so we'll see. I did get a new concealer. This one is the Nyx Bear With Me Serum Concealer. This one is in light, and we'll use this to prime the eyes, but we'll also use it underneath the eyes when we do the complexion. It's weird. Why wouldn't it have a doe foot? It has a pump. I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not. And now I can feel it tingling. Whew. And I think that this color is going to be just fine. Let's prep these eyeballs. Okay. Okay, so a little goes a long way. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to kind of tap this out. It's actually quite nice. And that was one pump too. And I still have some on the back of my hand. So a little goes a long way with this stuff. That's good to know. Don't need a whole lot. I have a couple of different options for eyeshadow today. The Milani Gilded Ember Hyper Pigment Face and Eye Palette. I've never used these palettes from Milani before. It looks like this. It's not really giving me the feels. It was a free palette I got when I bought some Milani lipsticks, which that video should be up now, which is the dupes video that I just did. The one that I've used in the past from Milani is the Passions. They don't make these anymore, but I love this formula. It looks like this one is definitely a different formula. I don't think it's the same at all. And it looks like it's got an overspray, and I just don't have the feels for this one, so I don't know if we're gonna use that today. I do have these in my collection. This is the Chocolates and the Wonderlust. So maybe we'll play with this one and kind of just do a really neutral look. I'm gonna go into Adventurous here. This looks like a really beautiful camel color. What I'm gonna do is go through the crease with the Morphe M433 brush. Looks like that. And just kind of run that through the crease. Blend it out. Look at my lips. Oh yeah. Yep. That stuff really works. I want to build up that color. It's a really nice camel color, and I love the fact that it kind of gets a little bit darker as you build it up. It's not bad. And it's not dusty in the pan either, which is really nice. Usually I feel like Profusion palettes, like maybe the smaller ones, the 6-pan, 9-pan palettes that they have, they tend to be a little bit more dusty in the pan, but there's not a whole lot of kick up when I'm playing with this one. So with the same brush, I'm actually gonna go into Groovy right here, this dark brown tone. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick that up on that M433 brush and just kind of work that on the outer corner. And I want to see if there is, that actually is a little bit choppy and a little bit patchy, but I'm just gonna pack that on. I'm kind of just taking that on the outer corner, just up into that crease a little bit. I'm gonna give it a chance. We're gonna go in with this color right here. We're gonna see if this does the trick. Ooh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so I misjudged. Whatever. Shit happens. I think I'm gonna go in to this color right here. This one is called Molten, and the top one that we went in was Flicker. I misjudged. This palette is actually quite good. The color story, just not usually something I would pick for myself, but as it was... That was weird. Did you guys see that? Definitely not something I would pick for myself, but I'm happy to have it, and I love the fact that it has a gigantic mirror inside. I mean, for a free palette, not bad. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and pop off. I'm going to catch this eye up, do the brows, and then we will do the rest of the complexion and play with the rest of these products. All right, bye. So we had a little bit of a rolling blackout because of the storm that's coming. It's a little concerning, but we're here. We're gonna finish this. If I don't get wrapped up in a tornado and fly away. So I did go ahead and do the brows and finish the eye makeup. And what we'll do is we will do the complexion and then finish the eyes. I do have some mascaras and stuff I want to test out on camera with you guys. But for the complexion, we've got some really interesting products. But I also did buy the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer in clear. I've heard that this is supposed to be like the Hydro Grip, and the Hydro Grip is definitely not my favorite primer. I'm more into luminous primers. We will see how this goes. I'm gonna just use my LA Girl stipple brush. I feel like I stabbed myself in the eyeball, so just ignore that. Okay, so this primer is tacky. It's not bad, it's just tacky. I don't know how I feel about that yet. We'll see how the foundation sits on top of it. I did end up buying the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Freshware. Looks like this. And I got this one in, this is number 435. It's like a rosy beige color. I'm hoping that this matches because it's more on the rosy side. And I like that it has a pump. That's actually really cool. Oh, watery. I think that might be too dark, but we'll see. This might be my color. Wow, holy crap. So now I understand why people were talking about this foundation. You guys hear that? I'm in the middle of the storm. I only did one pump. I'm going back in right now to do two. I like the finish so far. It's a little bit glowy. It's not overly drying. I feel like it's one shade too dark, but I think with a little powder we can make it work. Especially with a little bit of our concealer, because I definitely want to see how this plays. I'm going to take it on my finger and just kind of dab it underneath. Could do it with a brush too, but I kind of want to get it emulsified. And taking my Wet n Wild sponge. Can you guys hear that thunder? It's definitely lightened up underneath the eyes here. It definitely needs to be set with a powder underneath the eyes. So we are going into my favorite powder, the number 7. I use it for everything. You know how much I love it. And it blends and blurs so nicely. Okay, so I'm going to clip this back because it's getting everywhere. So everything's looking really good. This foundation, I didn't realize I was gonna love it as much as I do. So far, so good. I mean, I feel like it's my color. I mean, there's a little bit off, but it's not too terrible. Nothing you can't blend down your neck. But I did end up picking up the L'Oreal Infallible Freshware Bronzer. This is brand new, and I got mine in 250 Light. I think this is going to be really, really good. I've heard good things about it, so I'm excited to try it. It's very interesting. You open it up, and then you can open it this way. You would think that they'd come with like a sponge or something. It comes with nothing but a mirror. I don't know how practical that is, but let's try the product and see how creamy this blends out. I'm gonna go in with this Morphe E4 contour brush and go into this powder. I love the design in here. Can you guys see that? It's really pretty. Very aesthetically pleasing. Just kind of tapping it on. I don't want to disturb the foundation. I have a bad tendency of like getting too heavy-handed and then disturbing what I have going on. And that's not what I want to do. What do you guys think so far? Pretty good, right? I'm loving this. If you guys get your hands on this, it's brand new. Pick it up. It is amazing. And I think there's like 15 different colors in the whole thing, but obviously in post I'll let you know how many colors is in the shade range. I know that there's like 45 or like crazy amount of foundation colors too. So they're really doing their job, which is great. It's just gorgeous. I'm really happy with that. Surprise. And I really like this primer. Who knew? The Viper wore off and it's not tingly anymore, but I do have another lip product until we get to the lips. This is the e.l.f. Hydrocore Lip Shine. And this is in the shade Happy. And it comes with a little heart in the middle. I'm gonna put some of this on just to nourish the lips before we go in with new lip products. It has a little bit of a color to it, but not a whole lot. So I did pick up the LA Girl Soft Matte Cream Blushes, and I've got one in Cutie and the other one in Grace. Let's try these colors and see what we've got. This one is Cutie, you can see that. This one is Grace, it's definitely darker. It looks really nice with the eye look today. I think we might go for a mix of both. Why not? We'll try them both. Take a stipple brush and go in with that brush. I think this is probably going to be the best way to apply it. It dries down insanely fast, by the way. And it works really well over powder. So that's nice too. There's a ton of different colors in this range too. I think I might pick up a few more because I really, really like the finish. But doing it on the back of your hand first, then stippling it on with a nice, not dense, so kind of lightly packed stipple brush. And it gives you a beautiful finish without any harsh lines. I'm glad I got to use those on camera because I bought them a while ago, but I never got to use them. If you do go too hard in the paint, which I do all the time, like seriously all the time, I go in with my foundation brush with no additional product and just kind of tap out anything that might be too much, and that kind of takes it down just a skosh. So there's that too, as a little tidbit. All right, I'm gonna put on a little bit of highlighter. I'm gonna use this LA Girl Velvet Highlight Stick, and this one is in Radiance. This is the one that I actually do like. I got rid of the other ones in my monthly favorites. It just, those two didn't work. It was a contour and highlight. It just was not good, but this guy looks, you know, very, very beautiful. I'm gonna go ahead on that stipple brush, actually. Take the same stipple brush, and I'm just gonna put that on here and see if I can get some radiance out of it. So I don't want to go directly onto the face. I think this is the best way to do it. It's very light. If you wanted something a little bit more intense, you could do it straight on to the face, but I just want something just a little bit of radiance. Not a whole lot. That's pretty. And I'm using an LA Girl brush too, because they have really nice brushes, if you guys didn't know. And I swear to God, it's not sponsored by them. They don't even know who I am. I just love some of their products, but it is hit and miss. I did end up getting the Ulta dual-ended liner, and this one is a felt tip on one side and a gel tip on the other. I don't know if you can put this in your waterline, because I was just going to tightline with this, but we'll see. I wasn't going to do a wing or anything, just because, again, it is 10 o'clock at night, and I really don't feel like putting myself through that. Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll tightline with this side. And then let me show you what the other side looks like. Looks like a felt tip pen. It's a little bit bigger than what I'm used to playing with. That's so bad. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. Why do I always go to the dirty place? I don't understand. It's so bad. And I just broke it. Awesome. Anyways, alrighty, so I'm gonna take this gel tip and tightline underneath, and then we'll do some mascara. I feel like the concealer is already creasing, as you guys can see underneath here. It's getting in all those lines. Not my favorite. I mean, a little goes a long way. Not the worst I've ever used, but not my favorite, but it does brighten underneath. So there's that. I did end up picking up some mascaras, and then I also got a free sample of Maybelline Sky High. I know that this is really popular, but I also got e.l.f.'s Big Mood. This one's in brown. We're not going to use that today. We'll use the one in, let's see here, in black. And if you could see that brush, it looks pretty substantial. I want to take a look at the Sky High one. My L'Oreal Lash Paradise is dried out, so okay, so this brush is definitely different. This is more lengthening, maybe? Is this Lash Sensational? All right, so why don't we play with this one first? And if we need some more volume after we use this, we'll use the Big Mood. And I did give my lashes a nice squeeze. Okay, this brush is like crazy flexible. Do you guys see that? I feel like it just kind of doesn't really get coated correctly because it's not a stiff enough brush. Not my favorite. Let's try the Big Mood. See maybe if this has a little bit better brush on it, because it looks like it's an enormous brush and I'm not a big fan of that either, but we'll see. Yeah, this brush is enormous. How big do they think our eyes are? Like honestly, somebody who has smaller eyes than me, like, and not to say that I have small eyes, but if I had a smaller working space, this is not it. Like, what? The formula's not bad. I just can't stand the brush on both of these. It didn't get on my lid, which is surprising. I like this brush better than the Sky High. So I'm going in with a pencil brush, Adventurous, Groovy, and I'm gonna mix those together and go really nice and tight underneath the lash line. Then we'll buff it out with a fluffier brush, but I just wanna get the product packed by that lash line. And I'm not gonna take any additional product, I'm just gonna go on and buff this out, just so I don't have any harsh lines and kind of connect it on the edge. Definitely a lower lash mascara, definitely not a upper lash mascara. And I think the last thing is just lips, which is awesome. So I kind of want to do a nudie kind of pinky lips, so I do have a bunch of these. These were in the dupe video I just did. So we're gonna go in with this one. This is Secret, and then we'll put a little bit of peony over it. It gives me a little bit, it's not like so washed out, it gives me a little bit more color. This is the final look. I'm loving it, but there are some things that I want to talk about. Lipsticks, amazing. Don't really need to say much about that. Mascara, you guys know how I feel. The brush is too big on this one. The formula's okay. This, I'm up in the air about. It's creasing like crazy, even though I said it. And the serum is super duper thick. I don't know. It's not my favorite. I'm gonna work with it a little bit more, but I don't think that's gonna be on my favorites list this month. This, love, love, love. The radiance that this gives me, it catches the light just where you want it. It's not overly vibrant and there's no glitter. It just is really beautiful. These blushes as well, freaking beautiful. But there is a learning curve. So if you're starting off with these liquid ones, they have so much pigment to them and they're super opaque. Put them on the back of your hand, use a very fluffy stipple brush and go in and just kind of play with it and dab them on. If you go too hard, go in with either a beauty blender, a sponge of some sort, dampened, or you can go in with your foundation brush with no additional product and just kind of pat it out, and they look beautiful, but they dry so fast. So there is a very limited working time, just so you know, but they are absolutely stunning and they just are perfect. I actually really like this primer. Who knew that I was gonna like a grippy primer? I definitely did not. I thought that this would not sit well or play well with the foundation, but I was wrong. I actually did like the Ulta Beauty dual-ended liner. It hasn't transferred down that I can see. It stays put, good tight line, not a whole lot of trouble putting it in my upper lash area. Didn't poke me in the eye. Couldn't ask for more than that. Obviously, you guys know I love my number 7 powder. That'll never change. The foundation and the bronzer. Yes and yes. Wow. I didn't know that this drugstore foundation was going to be my color. I mean, the rosy undertones, it is my color but better. It makes my skin diffused. It sits beautifully. The finish is a soft matte. You can work on top of it with creams. It sets really nicely with powders. It plays well with everybody. Love this stuff. We'll be seeing this on my channel more often, as well as the bronzer. Beautiful color. The packaging is not practical because this is weird. This powder though, blendable, it's creamy, it goes on, it doesn't give you any harsh lines, it's not overly pigmented, it plays nice with creams, it just is really beautiful. Highly recommend that. The e.l.f. Hydro Core, I think that's great if you're looking to just kind of give yourself a little bit of a hydration, a little bit of tint, not bad, it's not overly pigmented. Something I'd throw in my purse if I was on the go. The palettes, okay, so I would say the palette formula is better in these guys, these old ones that are not made anymore. So I would say probably pass on that palette. But I do like the Profusion palettes. These guys are really affordable and they give you a ton of bang for your buck, and there's not a whole lot of kick up in the pan. Good stuff. I think that we're good there. Those are definitely worth their money for sure. For like $6 or $7 or $10, whatever they are, they're well worth it. The Viper, very uncomfortable. It does plump your lips, and if you don't mind a tingle, it's all right, but it's like intense. So just be wary. But I like the way that it turned out. I think that there were some gems in here. I think that there was definitely some hits and some misses. I hope you guys like this kind of video. If you want to see more, please let me know in the comments below. Give it a big like, because that lets me know that that's what you want to see. Also, I will link all of these products in the description for you by category. And yeah, I think that's it. I really love you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me through this thunderstorm. And I love you, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.